What is up, everybody, and happy freaking Sunday! How we all doing? Let me turn this down just a hair really quick, and we're gonna say what's up to everybody. Happy freaking Sunday. How we all doing? How we all doing? How we all doing? Freaking Nolo! DeWalkton, how are you, my friend? Yes! Master Go, my dude, how are you doing? Dudes, having full-on conversations, pre-chat, and I freaking love seeing it. Adrenaline, how are you, my friend? Adrenaline, maybe? Yes. How are you doing? My homie McHome Dogs, Jesse in the house, MX, dude, how are you doing? We're all freaking homies in the house. Flowers is here. Majin, how are you doing? Jackie Hunt, yes. Priscilla in the house, freaking going down the list. Camilla K, how are you doing? Freaking Maja Cat, yes. How are you doing, my friend? Dude, I love BTS lo-fi. It just puts me in a better mood. Oh, dun dun dun. But yeah, how are we all freaking doing though? How was our weekend? What does our week look like? What do we got going on? Jackie mother freaking Hunt. I work 2 jobs and Sundays are my only day off. Both, and you get to hang out with us now. Double freaking wins. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on your day off. And also Amber Lash Music, what is up, my homie? How you doing? At some point, I'm just throwing this out there. Anybody watching this, know that I threw this out here without even giving anyone any warning, but eventually at one point I'm going to be releasing some music, and I would love to do a collaboration with you at some point. Amber, you're freaking awesome. I hope you're doing great today. Mikoa, how are you doing today? And Wonderbug, how are you? Yes, Kimchi in the house, freaking hanging out. How are you doing? May! LT said, I have COVID. This is a welcome distraction. Well, come on in here, my friend. Listen, you're not contagious in chat, okay? Only thing contagious around here is your freaking sparkling personality, my friend. I hope you're doing better, though. Hopefully you're on the improvement of freaking COVID, because COVID sucks. The worst part about COVID for me, not being able to freaking taste food. I love food, and if I can't taste food, I can't taste nothing. Teresa, how are you doing? Rainstorm, how are you, my friend? How's your computer? I know you said your computer was kind of being a turd. Is your computer doing better? Earth Mother in the house, yes, you're handled. So hard to at you with that star. Dun dun dun. Phoenix, oh yeah, Phoenix Flames for sure. Shelly, how you doing? Penta wait, family, how are you, my friend? Wait, hold on. Are you a content creator? Pantoja family, how are you doing? RM Army in the house? Yes. I think I got everybody. And if I missed your name, I am freaking tremendously sorry. I hope that you're doing amazing today. We've got some awesome ones for y'all. We're going to be doing a reaction to something from Boris City Magazine. I'm really excited about this one because I've seen this actually on her page a few times. And I know that other reactors that I'm hanging out with, like homies with, I know other reactors that have reacted to this. I just never have. Because guess what? I feel like she's probably going to echo the same thing. But honestly, how do you recreate just a star? You know what I mean? How can you recreate the sun? Well, I'm sure there's a lot of stars out there, but there's no other this person. So I don't know, man. I'm not really sure how that works, but I'm excited to find out. Hello, John. Hello, everyone. I'm from and first time here. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday. How you doing? Welcome into chat. How are you? Thank you so much for freaking being here tonight. D, how are you doing? And Mel, I didn't miss you, Mel Parker. How are you, Mel Parker? Hello. I think I got everybody. Maybe. How you doing? Paula, how are you? Dude, for real. Boris City Magazine, amazing stuff that she puts out. And I think she puts a lot of work into every single one of her videos. She's just a very good content creator, and I respect her opinions on everything. And I think that even though she goes on some topics that a lot of people might think are like sensitive topics or like topics that are hard to navigate correctly without pissing too many people off, she comes at everything very respectfully and very much so facts related. So it's not like if she ever does give opinions on things, it's normally backed up with really good stuff. So that's one thing that I really love about Boris City Magazine. I think that her videos in particular do a very good job of giving you like the facts without being too biased. And I think that's really cool. K-pop lover in the house. I'm new. Just stumbled on your channel a while ago. Yes. K-pop lover, do you remember your first video of mine to watch? And what got you in to be like, oh, this dude's not horrible? How did you get into that? Mia, how are you doing? And Zandra, trying to read your shirt backwards. Oh, it says super tuna, and then it says Jin's fresh seafood. Dot, how are you? I haven't watched this just because I honestly think all the members are too unique and their chemistry is a whole nother level that would be so hard to copy. I agree with that too. I think that like circumstances. So before we watch this, you guys want to talk about why we think that there won't be another BTS and then see what she says and how it correlates and what facts she gives us to back this up. Like, y'all want to talk about why you guys, like, drop in the comments. Why do you personally think that there will not be another BTS? I'll read y'all's comments, I'll respond, and I'll talk about the reason that I think there won't be another BTS either. We can do that because I think that there will be other artists that will be like, I even hate saying this. I don't know that I know that there won't ever be another BTS. There could be other bands that will be on that same level as far as like success, maybe. I'm sure in the future of music, in the music industry, there will be another artist that will be as successful as BTS, I would think. I don't know. I'm not a positive on that one, but it's almost impossible to predict something like that. But I definitely think that there will eventually be a star of a group or a solo individual who will be on that same level of success musically. But as far as being able to recreate BTS and like recreate that band and that chemistry and that K-pop and that genre and stuff, I don't think that that's going to be possible. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Because there is only one OT7. Yes, facts. No, me here, knowing very little about BTS, but along for the ride. Heck yeah, May. Yes. Well, Mia, what brought you in here then? Mia, how are you doing, by the way? Favorite things, how you doing? Plus the start and growth of Big Hit and how they grew allow fandom of BTS and other factors. And two, I think that too, like, you can't replicate the actual fandom that was created with BTS, and especially if you're going after replicating something like that, because I feel like if BTS the band set out to be as big as they have become, I think that would have clouded their judgment on the route to get there. I don't think that they set out to be as big as they are, you know what I mean? I don't think that might have been like that might have been a thing where they were like, it would be cool if we got this big, but I don't think that they ever like, I think success was definitely a goal of theirs, obviously, but I don't think the amount of success that they have, I don't think that was ever a goal of theirs. And so I feel like if they were led by that, like led by the goal of becoming this massive success, like worldwide, world renowned, just the biggest band ever, if their goal was that, it could have clouded their judgment along the way, and probably sometimes hollow goals like that, even though that sounds very grandiose and stuff, I think at the end of the day, it's kind of a hollow goal, because like, how do you even measure that? You know what I mean? How do you measure that you're the biggest band in the world? How do you do all these things? And so I don't know. I think that could have clouded their judgment on the way there, and also probably could have led to them burning out. Like in particular, some of those years where it was like the hardest moments for the band. I think that if they were just going for that end goal, then it would have led to burnout a lot quicker. And I think like since they were really more a unit, and all the things that had led them to be OT7, to be brotherhood and all these different things, I think with that, I think that kept them like going and kept them glued together. But let's see what everybody else is saying too. Just like the Beatles, like Michael Jackson, Boyz II Men, Elvis, Johnny Cash, no one can be like them. Truth. Freaking truth. They started from the ground up. Big Hit wasn't steady at the time, so they had to put up the work and dive in. They tried now just to start them right away to be BTS. Exactly. That's a big thing. Like, it's hard to be as genuine as BTS as well too, because now whenever people get into BTS, like if you got into BTS this year, or if you got into BTS freaking this month, and you see them, you're like, God, they're massive. They're freaking massive. Even whenever I got into the fandom like a year ago, I was still like, they're so freaking massive. Oh my God. But once you dive back into their journey and realize these dudes stayed in a 1-bedroom freaking apartment condo thing together for years, like they worked their way to this. And I think a lot of that built that tenacity, and a lot of that built that like backbone that they have. So I think it's a big thing. Freaking Meg! Mountaineer Meg! How you doing, Meg? And also, hold on 1 second. Azriel, how are you doing today? And freaking Anna, how are you? And Uma! Hello! How you doing? So, Meg, we asked the question, why do you feel like there will never be another BTS? Or do you feel like there will be another BTS? Their sincerity, passion, and perseverance is not something you see often. Truth. I freaking agree with that, Kamali. I totally agree with that. 7 amazing artists in one group, and each member is unique. Their personalities and relationships with their fans is unique compared to other fandoms. Their lyrics are based on their situations. Freaking preach, Rainstorm. I totally agree with that as well, too. The confluence of the rise of interactive social media and Bang PD allowing them to show their true selves is not something that can be easily replicated. Freaking facts. There will always be new sounds and new things will change, but legends will stay legends. Facts. I totally agree with all these things. My body hurts. I hike like 5 miles a day. Freaking get it, Meg. Out there just doing the Lord's work. Bandmate Fan ATL. Freaking facts on that one as well, too. Just in case anybody didn't know. Bandmade, absolutely. And you know what's really cool for me to say about this? Bandmade Fan ATL. Another thing cool to say about that is they're still on the rise as far as like Bandmate. I think this year for them, they really hit a massive stride. And then them just playing Lollapalooza. I think that's a huge, huge thing for them as well. I think that's going to help them even raise to higher heights, man. So yes, I totally agree with you on that. Other groups will have their own success, but BTS was the first Korean boy band to get this kind of success. Yeah, I agree. And I mean, like, I think it's funny because even before I ever even heard of a BTS song or before they were ever really on my radar, I think that I'd heard their names before. I just didn't know what the heck they were. Like my wife was like, "Oh, they have BTS on Dance Dance or on Just Dance." And I was like, "What the heck is BTS?" She was like, "I don't know. They're like a K-pop group." And I had no clue what even K-pop was. So I was like, "I don't even know what this is." I have no clue. And little old like metalhead doucher guy me was probably like, "Never checking that out." So, you know, that probably happened. Just throwing that out there. Got to throw myself under the bus. Keep myself accountable here. Julie! Julie, how you freaking doing? I'm sorry I missed your name in there. Julie, how are you, my friend? And yes, Meg said they crushed at Lolla. Absolutely crushed. Meg is talking about Bandmade. She got to go see them. I was like, please go watch them. When you're at Lollapalooza, please check out Bandmade. And she freaking did. And she was like, they're so good. Oh, they're so awesome. Try to rest when you can after messaging them. RMRE. Oh, wait, hold on. Definitely taking meds and rest. Oh, yes. By the way, I was gifted a freaking concert ticket to go see the Rose this weekend. So I'll be going to see the Rose this weekend in Atlanta. So if anybody's going to be there, if you guys want to meet up or just say hello outside of the venue, or if you see me running around, I'll either be wearing a Super Tuna shirt, maybe like a Spread Positivity shirt. Maybe I'll make a shirt. I'm going to make a Spread Positivity shirt. And, yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, Bandmade has 500K YouTube subs. BTS has 76 million. So they still have a ways to go. They still got a little ways to go. But I love the fact that they're on that climb, dude. And they're crushing. They're putting in the work to get there. You know, I just had another thought. We don't need another BTS because the original is still around making music and has so much to give. Part 2 comes 2025. Freaking facts. Straight facts just there in chat. Hell yes. I totally agree with that. Nocifer, they ain't even supposed to be treated as K-pop stars. Oh, dang. I mean, there it is. That's true. But yeah, so I will be in, I'll be going to go see them in freaking Atlanta. I've already made a spread. Oh yeah. I just need to order them. Yes. Truth. I need to get one. I got to wear one, man. I don't think anyone can be another anything. Everyone is different. There definitely might be another group that gets as popular, but you can't ever take over someone else's place. Facts again. I agree with that. I think that there is no replicating them. I think you can definitely imitate and things like that. But I think this video is going to give us something even deeper. I think this video is going to talk about like what they're actually looking for in regards to when they do say, Oh my God, I'm going to see them in Texas. Yes. I think that they're going to give us like a deeper meaning as to what they're looking for. And I think that's really cool. And I'm really excited to see this. Where are they playing in Atlanta? They're playing at the Coca-Cola factory. So I'm really stoked to see that. Agreed. We don't need another BTS, but let's freaking do this. Are y'all ready, my homies? Let us get into Boris City Magazine. By the way, I'm going to drop a link to her video in the comments really quick. If y'all don't mind, like, open up another window, hit that little old button in there, and let's see here. I think everything looks okay, maybe. But yes, hit that little old freaking like button on her video, please, because she is freaking awesome. She deserves it. Let's do this. Okay, I think everything's ready. Oh, boom. We're about to do it. We're about to do this. But also, anybody that's saying you're freaking lucky, thank you, first of all. Thank you so freaking much. Also, I just want to say this. I'm going to be doing a travel vlog for it. So I will be doing a travel vlog. You guys can totally come along with me. I'm going to film everything from me leaving my house, the freaking drive out there. We're going to hands-free record a lot of stuff. Not going to be like, oh, guys. But I'm going to record the whole way down there. I'm going to record while I'm there. And I'm going to record my way back. And we'll just talk the whole way. So anybody else that wants to, I'll be freaking doing it for sure. Also, hold on. Hi, my nickname in English is Love Rex. In case you don't read Korean, I don't, but I love your name, Love Rex. Freaking yes! Thank you so much. And can you ask me a question? You most definitely can. All right, let's do this. Also, but now I'm on bated breath with what Love Rex is going to ask us. I love it. Let's do this, Love Rex. Devana, to awake, I found out that the rose from Suga's comments and songs, dude, yes. I think the Coca-Cola venue is at the Braves ballpark complex. Great place. I can't wait to go, man. I've never been to that one. I've been to a lot of shows there, but I've never been to a show at the Coca-Cola venue. I've been to a lot of shows in Atlanta, and my dad actually lives in Atlanta. Vlog for the Rose, John? Vlog for the Rose, 1000%. Aza is like, get the hell out of here. Oh my God. Very possible. Oh, MG must be there now. Well, but so listen, if I do happen to miss your comment, Love Rex, I do apologize. I'm going to be looking out for it, but I'm also going to be paying attention a lot to this video. But if you do write a question, I'm totally down. How did you even decide to give BTS a try? Well, might I just tell you? Meg, that is in the chat, had asked me like 1 billion times to check them out. And at the time, I was actually doing reactions to metal stuff and doing a lot of video gaming content and a lot of different like music-related stuff and gaming-related stuff. But I hadn't really checked out BTS. And Meg was like, you're doing reaction videos already? Do some to BTS. Check them out. And she was obsessed with BTS. Even back then. Like, some of her friends got her into it. And so she was like really into BTS. And that's me. Totally down there. She's right there. And then me and my wife, Jody, were supposed to go on a cruise with Meg and her friend, Alyssa. And so we got a VRBO in New Orleans. And so we were supposed to leave out of New Orleans on this cruise. Well, Jody, some stuff ended up happening, and we didn't get to go on the cruise, but we stayed down there at the VRBO. And so we're at New Orleans. I'm smashing food, drinking hurricanes, and get a little bit drunk. And we get all the way back to the VRBO that night. And I'm like, man, I really want some freaking hot wings. Hot wings would be delicious right now. So we DoorDash some hot wings. And while I'm sitting on the couch waiting on my hot wings, and me and Meg are just chilling, she's like, hey, want to watch some BTS stuff? And I was like, Meg, let's just freaking do it. I'm drunk. Let's freaking watch some BTS stuff. So we watched Daechita, I believe it's Daechita, and I was not expecting it at all. I thought it was going to be like, I was 99% positive it was going to be like, I don't even know what I thought. It was just going to be like a boy band. I had no clue what I thought it was going to be. It turns out it was nothing like I thought it was going to be. I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. And then a couple of weeks went by, maybe even months went by from there, and then finally Meg was like, listen, you just check out this one song, just do a reaction to this. Tell me what you think. And it was Outro Tier. And that was the first one I checked. And I freaking loved it. And then she was like, that's the lyric video. You should watch them do it live. I was like, they can do this live. And I was like, surely they're lip syncing. And that's my thoughts on it. I was thinking they were lip syncing. And then whenever I found out that they weren't, I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to check them out. So I really went into it from there. But that's how I got into it. can't wait for your Go Doc reaction. The pigeon is amazing. I can't wait, dude. I'm going to record that one actually tomorrow. I should have it up on Patreon the next day. So I'll do it then for sure. But yeah, anybody that's on the fence about should I check out BTS, throw them Daechita, okay? That freaking music video is awesome. The song is awesome. Everything about Daechita is amazing. All it takes is a little bit of alcohol and hot wings. Facts. And a really persistent, awesome friend as well, too. That helps a lot. Let's freaking do this. Why there will never be a next beat. Well, actually, the video is called The Next BTS, Why They Fail Every Time. Freaking boom. Let's do this. Take us home, Boris City.
In 2019, BTS were already well established as the biggest group in the world. 2 years after their American TV debut had already passed, and their success only kept growing. The name BTS was associated with some of the biggest names in the music industry. This helped K-pop grow as a whole, but BTS were the only ones in the spotlight in the Western music industry. The K-pop industry noticed this, so SM, one of the biggest entertainment agencies in South Korea, had the idea to create a supergroup formed of the 7 most popular members of some of the most popular K-pop groups and promoted them as the Avengers of K-pop.
Okay, wait. So I think I had heard of this. This is 2019. Super M. Okay, yes. I was like, I'm pretty sure I've heard of them before. Super M. How could I not have heard of them?
Their success was supposed to be guaranteed, and their chances
Volume higher? Oh, dude, thank you.
were bigger than the chances of the
right about there.
hundreds
Is that
of other
good?
K-pop groups also trying to level with the success of BTS. This supergroup did everything they could. Their label SM Entertainment partnered with the US label Capitol Records. Their debut stage was in Hollywood. Their TV debut was on the Ellen DeGeneres Show. They also performed on Jimmy Kimmel. Their premiere event was in Los Angeles and had American press. Their debut album had 8 different versions, 1 regular version and 1 individual edition for each of the 7 members. And they started an American tour right away. All of this promotion helped them get a number 1 on the Billboard 200 albums charts, making them the second Korean act to top the chart, only after BTS. This made Los Angeles Times and entertainment companies predict that this group was going to be the next BTS. But there was something weird. Outside of the K-pop sphere, no one really knew about them. They were everywhere, and their album was number 1, but the songs of the album were nowhere to be found on song charts like the Billboard Hot 100, or even in the top 20 of the bubbling under Hot 100. And right after their album debuted at number 1, it disappeared from the top 10. Their second album had a similar story. The Avengers of K-pop performed in American TV shows and even partnered with Marvel for limited edition merchandise. But their album debuted at number 2 with none of its songs charting on the Hot 100. This was only one of the multiple failed Next BTS attempts, whether they are Korean girl groups or Korean boy groups. Year after year, Korean entertainment agencies and American music labels have been trying to replicate BTS's success.
You guys are the biggest boy band in the world.
It's not a secret that the K-pop industry has been studying BTS's popularity for years. An industry official said, right now, the biggest concern in the K-pop industry is who will make the next BTS. So all attention is focused on the performance of the United States.
Can I just say, like, I would feel horrible if I was that one that's like, if I was like, y'all are going to be the next BTS. And everybody was comparing could you imagine being in the band and everybody's like, you're going to be the next BTS? Like, I'm sure that would feel good because obviously BTS is awesome, but already being compared against them, and especially if your record label was like, we're going to make you guys the next BTS, the weight that would be on your shoulders is immeasurable. Like, that would be so ridiculously hard to live up to those standards. I mean, my God, and especially if it's breathing down from your record label. Like, the only thing I can think of to relate this to is Linkin Park after they wrote their first Hybrid Theory album. Not even that. I think after Hybrid Theory, whenever they were making Meteor, they knew that the sauce was good. And they were like, let's just write this next album. And in fact, they told their record label to shove it whenever their record label kept on trying to do things. But after that album, and I can't remember what the name of the third album was, but the pressure of that third album, that has to be the same kind of pressure that these artists face whenever they have whenever their record label's like, you're going to be the next BTS. We're going to make y'all the next BTS. And it's like, if you don't live up to these standards, that's got to be super freaking ridiculous. I don't know either way. I'm just thinking out loud here. That's
The
got to be rough.
entertainment agency's main strategy to set the narrative that their group is the actual Next BTS is to hyper-focus on getting 1 or 2 achievements that BTS previously had. But since this is almost impossible, they go out of their way to find strategies in which they can be named together, hoping that people won't bother to know the context. One example is album sales. BTS are the second group only after the Beatles to get 3 #1 albums in less than a year. This phrase was everywhere.
And they just became the first group since the Beatles to earn 3 #1 albums in less than a year.
This is a very high record for
Jesus.
K-pop or for any artist to achieve, but getting at least 1 #1 album may be enough to be named in the same conversation as BTS. So
Did you even just think about that? Like, they're the first since the Beatles to do that. And how many years had passed since then? Was the Beatles like when they were like, I don't want to say something totally wrong. Was it the 60s? Were the Beatles the 60s? Somebody in the comments, please tell me when the Beatles were. But think of how many years have passed since then. That's a lot of years. A lot of years have passed since the Beatles, and they're the first band to do it since then. So, like, think of what a huge abnormality that already is that they're doing that. I don't know. I'm thinking they were the 60s. They couldn't have been the 70s. Okay, good. 60s. Also, Meg said, along with the pressure, it's not fair for the bands. They aren't BTS. They need to be their own thing and to grow and then save themselves in their own individual way. I completely agree with that. Yes. That would bother me so bad. That would bother me so bad if I was that band that people were like, hey, you're going to be the next BTS. Like, it would be flattering in a way if somebody came at me and said, y'all are the next BTS, or y'all are going to be, like, if they said it in an enthusiastic way like that. But if it's your record label saying that, that's a totally different thing. That's so much worse because, like, that's almost like a greedy ambition. You know what I mean? It would feel dirty to me. I don't know. I wouldn't like it. But if a fan came up and was like, y'all are going to be the next BTS, I'd be like, oh, thank you.
although these groups cannot have an organic #1 album because of lack of demand in the US, they still can sell multiple versions of the same album with different pictures that fans can collect at a very small price. This will lead to a lot of album sales,
Nikki, that's
but
wild to
not
think of.
song sales or streams. So the normal thing for a real #1 album is to have at least one top 10 song or multiple songs on the Billboard Hot 100, because if an album is popular, then at least one song of the album has to be popular. This doesn't happen with K-pop albums because they are not actually big in the US, but that doesn't matter. These groups technically have a #1 or a #2 album, so entertainment agencies will use this to pretend like they will be the next BTS because they have the same achievement. Another example, BTS are one of the few artists who can sell out stadium tours these days. This is something extremely hard even for the biggest Western artists you can imagine. So K-pop's strategy to pretend like they also have a stadium tour is to have at least one concert in places like the Bank of California Stadium, which doesn't actually have a stadium capacity. It has an arena capacity of only 20,000 people. A stadium is just part of the arena venue's name. An actual stadium tour, like BTS's tours, is composed of multiple concerts in stadiums with...
Hold up. I have to look at this. Holy shit. I've never seen this before. This is so freaking cool, actually, to think about. Okay, here we go. Inglewood. So they played 4 nights in Inglewood, which that's California, right? And then the SoFi Stadium. The attendance for those nights in total, holy crap, 813,000. Holy crap. How is that even possible? Good God. 813,000 in total, I'm pretty sure, right? And they made on that, oh my God, $33,300,000. Or wait, $33,300,000. That's so much money, man. So yeah, dude, that is freaking wild. Wild differences in these prices. And while I've got pause, I'm going to talk to the chat really quick and read this because it's bothering me not to read it. But I also don't want to be unfair to anybody watching this along, and I want to be respectful of the video as well. I'm getting better, people. Okay? As my daughter would say, I'm doing better. Dot says it's hard if you are the band in the same era along with BTS, just like any other legends came, such as Michael Jordan. I'm sure that all the basketball players at the same time are going to be compared with him. Yeah, I totally agree with that too. Huge money thrown at promotion and media cannot create something that isn't there. Facts. And in fact, I would say this. I think that the record labels at the moment are going about that in a slightly incorrect way. I think what they need to do is find a band that already has some momentum or some genuine stuff going behind them. Find people that are already out there really doing it, and not only really doing it, but find people that are really passionate about it and have a good small following, and then inflate that. Like, not inflate it in a bad way, but finance that. Help nurture those things, because I feel like that's something that will end up. And in fact, you could even almost say that happened with BTS a little bit. Like, they did their own nurturing for sure, but like they had like I don't know, whenever like Dynamite and stuff like that might have came out, that might have been that nurturing, because they had this grassroots, like such a huge, awesome following that is ARMY before they really like took over in America, you know what I mean? But I also think it's bigger here, not only me. All right, here we go. So also our home dog, Love Rex, asked the question, and now I gotta find it. How come a lot of Americans think that K-pop fans are a loser? I don't know, but I will tell you this. I'm probably going to go in and say ignorance would be a lot of that. I think a lot of that answer would be ignorance. They don't really understand it, so they just assume that it's just like, oh, what are y'all doing, losers? But the same thing probably could have been said whenever I was growing up about like anime fans. I was a really big fan of anime. I was a huge fan of metal and like a little skater punk kid growing up, and that wasn't really looked at like a cool thing either. And I'd say a lot of that was like, I don't know. I'd say a lot of it is ignorance for the issue. People just don't know enough about it, and because of that, they're not really wanting to jump into that. But I think as it grows, I think that it will. I think that will become more of a cool thing. And in fact, in my daughter's school, both of my daughters go to the same school now, and they were both saying that like there's only like one kid. They wear a BTS shirt every single day. They wear the same BTS jacket, and I'm like, man, go talk to them. Go talk to them. Y'all have so much to talk about. But I don't know. I mean, like, there's literally one kid in both of my daughter's school that have that, you know? Rob, how you freaking doing? But either way, I think that's freaking wild. I love these statistics, and I think that's so cool that she's got these here. That's a very cool reporter thing to do.
40,000 to 80,000 seats in each concert. So thanks to media play, other K-pop groups can be named as the next BTS because they are supposedly having stadium tours when they are actually performing in arenas, theaters, and one arena venue that has a stadium in its name. This type of
so
strategies
funny
are
that
very
she found that,
whenever
dude.
BTS does something, the K-pop industry focuses on that something. This is why K-pop groups started submitting their work to the Grammys only after
Truth,
BTS
Diana.
started getting nominations to the Grammys. And not only that, but if BTS is nominated to Best Pop Duo Group Performance, the media's attention is on Best Pop Duo Group Performance. So K-pop groups submit their songs for this category. One of the latest BTS Grammy nominations is for Best Music Video. This is a new achievement for them because they've never been nominated for this category. So I can assure you that next year, K-pop groups will start submitting their music videos for this category, and the media will drop predictions saying that they will also be nominated because the industry only goes after what BTS already has. All of these were the next BTS K-pop attempts. But what about Western attempts? In a video I made some time ago, I went through the multiple attempts of creating the next big boy band after One Direction.
I really want to go back and see that one because honestly, I don't know. And this is so close to home. I'm like, God, what Western dudes are trying to become the next BTS?
And these attempts came around 2016 and 2017 when BTS were rising to popularity in the West and were named the biggest group in the world. However, I don't think these new boy bands were trying to be the next BTS because BTS were fairly new and BTS were seen as a fluke or a weird phenomenon that will last probably 1 or 2 years.
That's true.
But year after year passed by and the multiple new Western boy bands, which were backed by the biggest Western music labels, kept failing trying to surpass BTS. And not even the biggest comebacks of popular old boy bands could compete against BTS. So in 2019, Simon Cowell, the creator of One Direction, had the amazing idea of creating a new British group that would become bigger than BTS. And
Wait, first of all, I didn't know that Simon Cowell made One Direction. Did anyone else know that? That is like some wild stuff. I have no clue how I didn't know that. Pretty amazing. But yeah, oh my God.
said that his UK pop group will destroy the K-pop group which is ruling the world.
We're going to try and find either the biggest boy group in the world or the biggest girl group in the world. We've done it before, we're going to do it again. Right now, K-pop, you could argue, is ruling the world. Now, it's time for UK pop.
So his
Oh,
singing show
God,
The
no.
X Factor had a special season called The X Factor The Band, dedicated to group together a boy band and a girl band. These two groups would then compete against each other, and the winner would get a record deal with Simon Cowell's label Psycho Music, release their debut album, and become the biggest group in the world. In the end, the boy band Simon created ended up losing the show, not signing to Psycho Music, and breaking up a few months after their creation. The girl group did get a record deal with Psycho Music, but they never released a debut album, and one of the 6 members
What?
left the group to pursue a solo career. In 2022, they left Psycho Music, signed to Warner Records, and another member left the group. Another attempt of creating the next BTS failed once again.
Okay, really quick also too, anybody in the chat that is a fan of Rin, was Rin in one of those bands? Because I heard that Rin was actually in a K-pop group from the UK. Or I heard that he was in like a group in the UK, like a pop group, not a K-pop group. And also, everybody's like, I knew that. I had no idea. Dude, I don't know. Listen, I'm telling y'all, before this channel, I'm metal all the day long. All I was listening to, freaking metal. And if it wasn't metal, it was like some rock or pop punk. Okay, so that was my genres. That was all John Reeves in a nutshell. I was so blind to everything. Tay's just gone live. Tay is live, ladies and gentlemen. Heck yes. I know this is random, but why? Wait, hold on. But why do so many artists skip Arizona for concerts, like a little bigger major city in the US? I know, Amber, I totally get that. And that same thing happens to me here in the freaking great state of Tennessee with Nashville. I don't know why, but Nashville gets skipped over for all the stuff, man. Before I found BTS, AJ said, I was very much into metal and alternative music. Yeah, same freaking here, homie. Tay is live on the airplane. He's live on an airplane right now. That's freaking awesome. Just grabbed my phone and ended the live quick every time. Aw, he is always just in and out, man. I freaking love V though. What was he doing?
American Music Award goes to
Oh my gosh! Get it, girl. Get it.
The latest attempt of finding the next BTS joined the forces of the K-pop industry and the biggest representative of the Western music industry, Billboard. The K-Billboard Awards was an event organized by the K-Culture Festival and Billboard, which attempted to highlight the biggest achievements of K-pop artists based on the Billboard charts. The organizer said, "This is part of our mission to find the next BTS. We will strictly adhere to Billboard's point system." But do you know what happens when you adhere to Billboard's point
Oh,
system?
God,
BTS
Billboards.
wins. So they also named the second place as the winners, continuing their strategy to associate K-pop groups with BTS, even when the gap between first and second place is abysmal.
There's been so many legends.
I love that you put that in there.
Frank Sinatra, the Beatles, Dean Martin, and now we have, wait for it, the Avengers of K-pop.
SM's founder, Lee Sung-man, was the one with the idea of creating the Avengers of K-pop, and this was one of his multiple attempts of creating the next BTS. But since he fails every time, at some point, the media started naming him as the mastermind behind BTS, when he literally had zero relation to
What?
the group. He was actually managing groups that tried to directly compete against BTS. But he is not the only one. The 3 biggest K-pop labels are pushing the idea that their groups are actually the next BTS. SM had the Avengers
Man.
of K-pop, but since they are on a hiatus, he is now pushing a 4-member girl group to become the future of K-pop. YG is using media play and allegedly buying awards in small American award shows to pretend like his biggest girl group is on the same level as
Dang.
BTS. And most recently, JYP had Korean media suddenly releasing multiple articles naming his group as the next BTS. I don't think this is a coincidence. This all seems like premeditated media play. But how is it that they keep failing, even with all the media play they can get? I found some common factors in their failed attempts. First is lack of originality. If BTS releases an album trilogy about
God.
self-love and acceptance, K-pop starts singing about self-love and acceptance.
I freaking love Boris City. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but she is like savagely honest, okay? She does not hold back, and she's just factual about this stuff. It's not like she's over here just like making up crap. She's like, listen, they're not original, and let me show you why they're not original. And then she gives you facts. It's like she does not go off. I don't know, man. She's not over here just spitting out like opinions. She's like, here's a fact. Here's why it's not original. And here's I think she's awesome, man. Listen, and I'm not discounting, because some of the bands that I've seen on here, I do like some of these bands as well too, man. Like freaking Stray Kids. I freaking love Stray Kids. Love them to death. There's a lot of bands on here that I like, but that doesn't mean that I have to like the things that their record label do, or the way that they're promoted and the way that things are ran behind the scenes. I do not like the music industry a lot of the times, but I love the way that she's putting all this stuff, man. And I think we all have to be able to do that. Separate the band and the artist from the record label and the record label executives. Because to be honest with you right now as well too, like I don't really know that much about the newer big hit. You know what I mean? I don't really know much about them at all. So I love BTS. I love the artist. I just don't know much about them. So you got to learn to separate the artist and the record label and all that stuff as well too. But again, Boris City, freaking crushing it. Jeez, dude. She's awesome. She is the reporter that Army needs, homies. Wait, hold on. I gotta go back, actually. Hold up.
Their failed attempts. First is lack of originality.
'Cause I think
BTS
she
releases
do
an
before?
album trilogy about self-love and acceptance. K-pop starts singing about self-love and acceptance.
Okay.
As I began to love myself. If BTS
Aw.
releases a song like Fake Love, K-pop groups immediately release songs with a dark aesthetic. BTS stops the dark
Dang.
aesthetic and releases Boy With Love. K-pop groups release songs with a pink aesthetic. BTS releases a song titled Life Goes On. K-pop releases Life Is Still Going On. BTS releases Smooth
Dang.
Like Butter. K-pop releases Sweet Like Mango. And these are just trivial examples that don't really matter much. The key here is lack of originality. K-pop does the same thing
Dang.
over and over again, and that is not necessarily a bad thing for a K-pop audience. But if you keep trying to make this work
Heck
in
yeah,
a Western
favorite things.
audience,
I got you,
will
homie.
keep failing. Number 2 is trying to be unique in the wrong aspect. When the next BTS attempts actually try to be original, they sometimes try to be original in everything but the music. An example of this is SM's attempt of creating a metaverse group with 4 members who are real people and 4 members who are their virtual alter egos. So producers are not trying to find unique, interesting artists with new, rare, or just not so common musical elements. They are trying to create groups that are different in aspects that music fans don't care about. I personally think that the Avengers of K-pop idea was not the worst idea ever, but they focused too much on everything except for the music. SM tried to sell
God,
the
that's
idea
so
that this
true.
group's unique aspect was that, unlike BTS and the others, the members had a manly man aesthetic. But who cares if they look like masculine men with black clothes who are called the Avengers when their music is this? By the way, if you like this song, it's completely fine. I'm just saying that I think
Wait, was that my dude? Wait, I don't want to say this. Oh, God. Who else in Super M? We're going to have to count. Oh, God. I don't want to say this, dude. Is that who I think it is? He looks oddly familiar, homies.
By the way,
I'm just gonna
if you
say he
like
looks
this song,
familiar.
it's
I'm not gonna say who I think
I'm
that
just
was.
saying that I think we can all understand why it didn't succeed in America. So once they failed, they left the Melly Man aesthetic and went back to the first mistake. Right after BTS released their first English single Dynamite and sang about shining through the city and being like Diamond, this group changed Diamond for Gold and sang in English about shining bright like gold. And don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with following music trends, but if that's all you do, you won't stand out, especially when you're trying so hard to create the next BTS.
God, Boris City crushing it with that one. Listen, the songwriter and myself absolutely loves what she just said. And thank y'all for saying Taemin, because I was thinking Taemin, but I was like, if I say Taemin, it's not Taemin. People are going to kill me. But either way, listen, the way that she said that, like people going for following a trend instead of necessarily following what, like going for a good song first. A good song trumps everything else out there. And I think like there's a few things. There's 2 bands right now. There was one band that split into 2 bands. It was anybody out there. This is like super metal nerdy stuff. Every Time I Die, one of my favorite bands growing up. A lot of my art is actually from the drummer. This one's from guitarist. There's another picture somewhere in here. Draws made this. Tommy the Headphones Breaker. But either way, Every Time I Die. Love that band to death. That band broke up, disbanded. All the musicians went one way and the vocalist went another way. And dude, I am telling you, both those bands that have created after that have wrote some really cool things, but there's one person, and I don't want to like be making sides over here, but there's a certain band of these two that is absolutely crushing it right now. And I think the reason that they're doing so well is because they're working on not necessarily just let's keep doing music. They're working on like, let's write a really good song that stands. And I think that's freaking awesome. I love that so much. And I think that she nailed it right there with saying that like what they need to focus on is the music first and then gimmicky stuff later. Because at the end of the day, a gimmick is just a gimmick if you don't have really good music behind it. Like, for instance, there's a band, absolutely love them to death. On the face of them, they were a gimmicky band. Their name is Bandmaid, okay? Girls dressing up in maid outfits, like playing music, and you're like, oh, cool. It sounded kind of gimmicky. And then whenever I freaking heard them and then you hear their music, you're like, dude, they could be playing in freaking frog costumes and I would be here for it. Like, they crush. Their music's good. And the same goes with BTS. Like, if all their Halloween costumes, if that's what they wore on all the time, that was a gimmick that they fell through, guess what? They'd still be BTS because they absolutely have music. Their message, everything else follows through them. So I think that's really awesome. And hold on one second. It can be difficult being a reactor in the K-pop realm of things. I just hope everyone finds the one that fits them. Too much hate going around with reactors right now. AJ freaking facts in the world over there. Just me and my friends met being in the army and ventured out into K-pop together and share our reactions, but some people hate on us because they don't know everything about every group. Oh well. Listen, just do your thing. I feel like my best advice to you as a reactor from one reactor to another reactor, be yourself, be genuine. If you ever do mess up and say the wrong things or something like that and actually do say something that you feel like is bad or something like that, like if you got to apologize, just freaking apologize or whatever, but don't feel bad about knowing stuff because guess what? It's a journey. Guess what I didn't know? I didn't know like all of BTS for the first however long. It took me a long time to get to where I am in my fandom. You know, it will take you a while. And guess what? You got a new homie over here. So message me if you ever have questions, but I will definitely check you out, okay? But yeah, just stay on your journey, man. Do your thing. Have fun with your friends. Listen to some music and learn some stuff. Boom!
3 is the lack of raw talent. Pretty people singing with loud pre-recorded vocals or playback are almost a rule in K-pop. But that won't work if you want to be the next BTS and you're debuting in America.
Wait, is she supposed to be singing?
K-pop is prioritizing looks way more than it should
Well,
be.
reach out
Likely
to me,
admitted
AJ.
that
Message
his
me for
biggest
real.
girl group
Let's
is
talk.
just a prettier version of a previous girl group. He
Just
said,
not on
"If you
Facebook. I
ask
don't
me
use
to distinguish
Facebook.
my new group from my last group, I want to say I did not try to make them different. If you ask me what differentiates them from other girl groups, I will say I did not form them with that in mind. I tried to make a girl group like I did with my previous girl group, but this time I wanted the girls to look pretty too. I won't pretend like looks don't matter in the Western music industry because they do, but good looks and a nice aesthetic is not enough. Korean labels need to start prioritizing at least a little of talent and passion for music. Finally, I think the next BTS attempts keep failing because music labels are obsessed with control and being the main character. I think they want to control all of their
The way
group's
she said that
success
and then
because
put
the
him on it.
CEOs
Oh,
want to
God.
be recognized for finding and paying the best songwriters in the industry instead of
That was
encouraging
so funny.
their interpreters to be artists. I think this is why JYP had articles putting his picture on his group's articles, so
She
he
said it
can
to
be
you.
called the mastermind behind the next BTS. This is also why SM was everywhere saying that he was the one with the idea of creating the Avengers of K-pop and the Metaverse group.
I'm telling y'all, man, she is the reporter that Army needed, okay?
The next BTS.
Oh,
this is also
God.
why SM was everywhere saying that he was the one with the idea of creating the Avengers of K-pop and the Metaverse group.
I want to take the time to acknowledge a very special guest we have in the building. We have producer, Mr. Suman Lee.
that's not what BTS's label did, and that's not what Namjoon did.
I have
the
no
leader
clue
of
either,
BTS.
Kamal.
They let the group shine as a group. With that said, I don't think it's necessarily bad that the producers behind a group explain the process of creating a group, but the focus should be on the group and their music, not on the CEOs. Number 5 is not accepting that BTS are way too out of their league. This person tweeted, it all boils down to these labels refusing to accept that BTS is not just a K-pop group anymore. They are talked about in actual pop conversations. They have solidified a legacy. They are literally worldwide A-listers, global artists.
I mean,
Music
each
labels
individual
make every
is.
move based off the fact that, well, they are a K-pop group, so the world must all love and want more K-pop. And that's just not how it works. That's why they keep failing.
My tutorial because you all keep failing. God, she's savage and I love it. Also, Georgia said, that point is so true. I like JYP, but his group should be the stars, which they mostly are, but sometimes he's too much. I totally agree with that. I think recently, especially, he has backed off, in my opinion, from what I've seen just from like a Westerns fan standpoint. I haven't necessarily like been just face deep in a lot of JYP bands. I am a fan of a lot of them though, for sure. But as far as like watching the outside stuff, like I see the music videos, I see the live performances and stuff, but I haven't actually seen like a whole lot of their like Run BTS has that show, and then freaking In the Soup and Bon Voyage. I've watched a lot of that with BTS, but I haven't really ever watched that with other bands, so I don't know how much he inserts himself in those things. I've always respected the fact that like Bang doesn't really like, he even blurs his face out if he's in those things. He blurs his face out, so I think that's really cool as well too. Joyce said, where you at, my homie? Joyce, I know you're somewhere in here. Well, I think I've lost it. I'm so sorry. I don't know where you're at, Joyce. Joyce, I've lost you, my friend. Yep, I can't find you. But either way, Joyce, just know I love you to death, and I think you're freaking awesome. So there we go. Boop. Her tutorial because they all keep failing.
If you as a producer or record label really want to create or be the mastermind behind the next BTS in terms of popularity, you need to look for very unique artists that are not necessarily going to be part of a group like BTS. I may be saying complete nonsense now because I'm not a record producer or anything like that, but the actual record producers and analysts have been studying BTS closely for years and they keep failing. So this is just what a simple music fan like me would do.
I like that she came out like that.
If you want to create the next big artist in America, you need to first focus on the music. Looks are great, but every single K-pop group has good looks. You need to step up your music game. You cannot debut in America with a song about being the best at jopping.
You have to tell me what jopping means.
Jumping
Yes.
and popping.
Jopping, of course.
Ah, okay,
Number
yep,
2,
nope.
and this also applies to Western attempts. Don't
Let me just say this really quick too. The whole jopping thing, like I'm gonna give that back to. I'm a parent right now, okay, and my daughters are way into some freaking the slang of the day, and they're like throwing out some really dumb ones, some really dumb slang out there. If you're gonna create a new word like freaking boy, if you're gonna create a new word like that, which is totally doable by the way, but if you're gonna create a new word, give it some freaking substance, okay? Like, have y'all heard of a giot? You ever heard of giot? Huh? Or like Rizzler? You ever been rizzed up, guys? Y'all know what getting rizzed up is? These things mean nothing. Like, what's it actually based off of? A giot? You think that's gonna be around in like a year? No, probably not. Being a Rizzler, you're gonna get rizzed up in about a year? Probably not. I mean, no cap. Did that last long? Not freaking really. Okay? There's things, I think some stuff, like if you're going to create a new word, make something with some freaking substance out there, okay? Bore, all these type things, those, give it some substance. If you're going to try to create a new word that people are going to start saying, give it some. Riz equals charisma. Yeah, but they're not even using it right. They're giving you like, let me riz you up, girl. No one be trying to riz me up. Get. I'm old though. Listen, sometimes you just gotta. Oh God, JYP and Hitman Bang are BFFs, but they have totally different personalities from what I've seen. It's interesting. The cha-cha slide, still no cap. You can't be capping. Quit the cap over there. Riz is charisma, right? Okay, so now thinking about Riz being charisma, that's pretty okay. And then like sus. sus works because it's like shortening suspicious, right? But then they turned it into, I don't even know if this is like a thing, right? But if you say this now, kids are like, oh, why are you saying this? But I'm not even going to say it either way. Sus has another thing. There's another word that follows sus that's freaking horrible. Freaking horrible. Jin, stop it. Exactly. I've even forgotten by now that my first name isn't Auntie. No way. No way. But you know what I mean? If you're going to give us a new freaking word like joplin, jopping, give us something good, man. Don't be trying to rizz us up just because we got this giat over here, okay? We're too caked for it.
Be mediocre and lazy. The reason why every single attempt of the next big boy band failed in 2016 and 2017, and also the reason why the comeback of all boy bands failed too, was because they were extremely mediocre when compared to BTS.
Man.
This is the main reason why it's highly unlikely to find the next BTS, because BTS did not only set the bar extremely high for K-pop, but also for the Western music industry. So stop comparing yourself to BTS, because that is a game that you are going to lose. Number 3, and this is for music labels. Be patient. The Beatles, Michael Jackson, Queen, and BTS did not become the biggest artists in the world with their first release. Don't try to force or fake a big debut when it really isn't a big debut. And more importantly, don't be like Simon Cowell or SM and abandon your group when the media play didn't work. Small debuts are not necessarily a bad thing. The ones trying to create the next BTS are some of the biggest labels. So instead of spending all this money in fake achievements and media play, try to spend this money in keeping your group alive as long as you can, so they can musically and artistically grow. Number 4.
Listen, I feel like if you go back and you're watching this after it's been dropped, go back and watch the live chat at the starting of this video before we actually clicked it, because we said a lot of these things. BTS took time to freaking grow, man. It took time. And if you go back and watch things, like, listen, I know a lot of the fandom absolutely hates this show, American Hustle Life. I totally get it. But once you get past, what was it, the 3rd episode, and that's a lot of that show, I know, but once you get past the 3rd episode, you'll see a lot of freaking grassroots guerrilla warfare tactics of marketing that BTS was actually employing back then. And it's amazing. Okay, so in my opinion, yes, I think we all nailed it, actually, by the way. I think she's articulating it and putting it in a very well written package, but I think we all talked about that, and the fact that, like, I think that these things take time, dude. And then she's saying pretty much like you're artificially inflating their success, and then whenever they don't achieve natural success because they're not yet that good, you guys get pissed, and then y'all like freaking just let him go. And it's like, why? Especially, dude, could y'all imagine whenever BTS was going through those really hard times and BTS was like thinking about giving up because they were just burnt out and they were working their asses off. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for the sub. But can you imagine if Hitman or if anybody from Big Hit or Hybe, can you all imagine if they were just like, nah, don't worry about it. They're not working for us. Let's just move on to the next one. There's been I think it's a blessing. Like, that is some divine intervention that some of the award shows that BTS won early on, that gave them that little bit of gas, a little bit more gas. Like, they just kept on getting a little bit more gas put into their tanks so where they could keep going to get to where they finally are now. But like, just think about that. All the little tiny, like, they weren't crushing, like, getting Grammys and stuff like that at the time or whatever. But I mean, like, the fact that they were, screw the Grammys, okay? Scammies. They weren't getting like Billboard Top 100s and stuff like that, but they were getting these things that were continuing to fill like their gas tanks to allow them to get to where they are right now. And it's just, that was not artificially inflated. That was ARMY voting because they were freaking wild. Like, you can't have something like ARMY out there and expect us to not blow up what's awesome. So I feel like ARMY and BTS, that's why you're not going to create another BTS, by the way. That's why you're not going to create another one, because you're not going to find another ARMY. Unless you put some time into your band and allow your band, like, also just to say this, she said, like, you're going to want to get solos that are as popular. Every single member of BTS is an A-list celebrity at this point around the freaking world. Suga sold out by himself. Freaking, I don't doubt that, like, whenever JK's album comes out, it's going to sell out. If he wants to tour by himself, it would sell out. Any single member, if they do something, they're selling out everywhere. I'm just saying, I don't know. Time, give them
different.
time.
If you really want to have a big debut like Olivia Rodrigo or Justin Bieber, look for what the music industry is missing, not what it already has. When Olivia
Facts.
Rodrigo debuted, the industry didn't have a Disney star sing about her love life for years. And when Justin Bieber debuted, he became the first teenage heartthrob born on the internet. Find something different, because
Truth.
BTS's level of artistry takes years to replicate. BTS did not have a huge debut in South Korea, but when they entered the Western music industry, they had already perfected for more than 4 years artistic elements that the Western music industry didn't see before. In other words, to find the next BTS, you need to stop trying to find the next BTS.
Hey, question for everybody out there then, really quick. What is it about BTS that stood out to you guys, besides their looks, if that was one of the things, but musically, what is it that stood out to you about them, in your opinion? Because for me, I heard nothing but pop band, boy band, pop band, K-pop, and I really didn't know what K-pop was, all these things. I heard all that stuff about them. And then whenever I heard them the first time, the first thing that actually stood out to me was, damn, okay, these guys are rapping, and it's actually really good, and I'm a huge fan of lyrics, and the lyrics were meaningful. And Outro Tear was one of the first things of BTS I actually heard, and watching that performance, I was like, God, they're freaking they're actually singing, they're talented, they're dancing, which I had no idea about. You know what I mean? So, like, what was it about BTS that stood out to you that was different enough for you to be like, well, what else is cool about them? Dancing, got into different genres and the lyrics and meanings. Yes. I got to know their personalities before listening to their music, so it was them as individuals before it was them as musicians, which actually is another thing as well too, because coming from like a metal perspective, there is never a time where you really get to know the musicians or the artists behind a metal band very well, or even close to the same scale as you would a K-pop group, like with BTS, Run BTS, all these things. Metal bands, we got nothing like that, dude. If I get like a behind the scenes 20-minute thing, I'm like, oh, you know, it's like blows my mind. I'm like, oh yes, watch it for hours. Lyrics and versatility, the sincerity of their music and voices. Yes. See, these are things. If you want the next BTS, if you want a band to compete with this as far as success goes, look at the freaking comments here. Find stuff here that you can replicate, but it's not even being able to replicate this. It's stand out in these things. Like, find ways to be that. I avoided them in K-pop like the plague because the word pop, which didn't have the best rep at the time, had no idea K-pop could really be. I totally agree with that as well too. Dwagden said dance. Every song was so different. Also included Korean elements. Yes. See, you saw them pre-debut? Heck yes. They didn't sing about love and relationships all the time, but about their life and struggles and others. Yeah, with things that you can relate to. I'm a writer and musician, and I was lost. I had given up on music completely. BTS brought me back. AJ, that's freaking awesome. And I'm glad that you're back. Bora freaking City! No freaking way! Everybody, please drop some hellos in the chat. Hi, John. What a surprise to me to almost, at the beginning, there was... Oh, what surprised me the most at the beginning was their ability to perform live. I totally agree with that. I think that's something that, like, whenever I watched Outro Tear and seeing them, I was listening, and you guys, if you go back, it probably bothered a lot of people, but in the first couple of reactions that I was doing live stuff, I was like, they're not lip syncing. And I think I called it lip singing. That's how little I knew about the whole thing. I didn't know what lip syncing or lip singing or any of that stuff. So I'm pretty sure if you go back and watch my first ones, I was like, oh, they're not lip singing. They're really not lip singing. That's them, guys. I had so many comments of people just saying, John, stop talking about it, because I was saying it so much. So either way, yes. Freaking Chris! How you doing, brother? And yeah, thank you so freaking much for being in the house. Bora City, we're just over here drooling over this amazing video. I've decided something. I don't know if you're willing to take on this moniker, but we've decided, or at least I have in chat. Please let me know what y'all think, chat, as well too. But I feel like you are the reporter that Army needed, okay? You're the person in, like, if ever we needed a reporter for Army, you're that person for us, my friend, because you're not afraid to, like, say the truth. you have like, whenever you've got opinions in your video, it's actually like stuff that is backed up. Like you got receipts for things. And if you ever do opinions, like at the end of this video where you're giving like your advice on how to be the next BTS, you say, this is my opinion. I might not know what I'm talking about, but this is my opinion. And like, even, you know what I mean? I love that. You're freaking crushing it, my friend. Well, freaking boom. Let's finish the rest of this out. This is a hiatus part. I'm so freaking stoked you're here, my homie.
You may think that right now is the right time to create the next BTS, because BTS are not releasing music as a 7-member group for the next 2 years. But the fact that they are still planning to release a lot of music during this time is not a good sign to continue creating groups that resemble them. The Backstreet Boys took a 4-year hiatus, and during this time, no other boy band could become as big or bigger than them. And BTS's level of performance and music, as well as worldwide popularity, is even bigger and harder to replicate than the one of the Backstreet Boys. This is how hard it will forever be to replicate BTS. Even if the BTS members release no music at all during this time or any other time in the future, that actually leaves K-pop at disadvantage in the Western music industry, because all the hype around K-pop is born with an interest in BTS. K-pop's achievements in the West are not K-pop's achievements, they are BTS's achievements. So if BTS stops being BTS, K-pop will definitely be bigger than what they were before 2017.
Holy crap, look at that freaking difference. Good God. Best-selling artist on circle charts. Korean sales. Oh my God.
But they will go back to being a niche interest, because the ones giving K-pop the title of mainstream are BTS only. Without them, K-pop has no legendary records in the West.
I gotta say, man, again, like the receipts here are freaking wildly accurate, and it's so crazy because like some of these things, like if you just said, I feel like if you just said some of the things that you said here, especially like in that last part right there, if you just said that, a lot of people would be like, no, that's not true. Oh, that's still not true. But then you freaking put the facts there. It's like, how do you like, what? How do you argue that?
I know it's hard to believe because of all the media play that exists trying to devalue BTS's popularity and art, but musical acts like BTS are once in a lifetime. We don't know if the next big thing is even going to be a group from South Korea or a boy band from the UK. By the way things are going on right now, there are more chances of having the next big legendary artist come from a Spanish-speaking country, and there are way more chances for these legendary artists to be a soloist, but that would only happen by promoting the artist as their own authentic self. And this is something that BTS is doing right now while they release solo albums. So it looks like the next BTS is BTS. Not only because their comeback in 2025 will be extremely hard to match, but also it looks like all the K-pop categories in Western award shows will go for BTS members either way.
Dude, also, can I just say, while she's saying this, I just keep on thinking like, God, this is so stupid. It's so dumb. But BTS is literally going to be like, oh God, I'm just gonna say it. The BTS chapter 2 is what S Super M was trying to be, dude. Because at this point, like, they have all got successful solo releases at this point now. And yeah, dude, they're the Avengers of K-pop. Like, they are. They just turned into the Avengers of K-pop with their with chapter 2. They didn't even they might not have even meant to do that, but I think that's what just happened here, and that makes me laugh.
In South Korea, J-Hope, the only BTS member who has released a solo album until now, already has 6 award nominations, including Song of the Year and Artist of the Year, against himself in BTS. So stop trying to find the next BTS, because number 1,
they are the
BTS
actual Avengers. It's so
here,
freaking true. That's
2,
so funny.
You're setting your groups up for failure. Music labels, K-pop fans, and the media need to wake up and stop humiliating their groups like this. Let your performers become artists. Let them be small so they can grow, and let them grow organically, because that was BTS's story, and they did not become the next somebody. They became the first BTS.
사실 저는 그 제2의 방탄소년단 제2의 뭐뭐가 좀 존재하지 않는다고 생각을 해요. 저희도 이제.
My homie, I'm hitting that freaking like button. Please, again, everybody, if you have not yet, I'm going to post again the freaking, wait, crap. Oh, crap, it hard. I got to click on different things and then click on this and then freaking dropping it back in chat. Boom. But please make sure you guys go like that video. And I'm just saying, that was beautifully said. Like all your other videos, I think that you had such a great way of just saying the facts. We all had a conversation before this actually started, and we were like, what do you think is, like, why do you think that there won't be another BTS? And a lot of what we said in that, you covered in a really, really cool way in this video. So thank you. And it's a very unique and cool experience to have you actually in the chat right now and be able to like just be talking to you right now while watching your videos. So freaking cool. But that was such a freaking awesome video. And I completely agree with it, man. That was awesome. Chris, my homie. I know I saw you in here, dude. I'm going to track you down really quick. What up, everyone? How you freaking doing, Chris? Dude, we got to talk soon, by the way. I had a really awesome dinner. It was freaking cool. But, man, what a freaking awesome video. You should react to a person who made a video explaining a lot of stuff about AHL. I can send you a link in Discord. AHL. I'm totally freaking down. I'm totally down to react to it at some point, for sure. BTS equals be thyself. See, I agree with that. And a lot of like, I think with that video, what a couple of things that really stood out to me about that is the fact that with BTS, their natural and organic growth. Because like I said, I think there were a lot of different times in their career where they might have gave up, you know, like V was talking about on Sugar on Suga's Suchita. V was talking about how like he was thinking about giving up, but like a lot of different things happened. And for instance, it was just, what was it? Suga sent him a text and said, like, you know, he sent him a text and just gave him the strength to kind of continue on that. But I think a lot of the times throughout their career, they had these like small successes in comparison to where they are right now, which at the time they were huge, you know, like winning an MMA or a Mama or a Melon, or like, I think Melon is MMA, right? But winning all these smaller awards that they won, like stepping stones to getting to where they're at right now, it just kind of kept on putting gas into their tank and allowed them to continue the journey that they were going through. And having ARMY, I mean, there's so many people that I've talked to that are like, I was a fan of BTS pre-debut. I think that's freaking awesome. And I don't know, the fact that they were still like, ARMY has just been with him the entire time. So continuing the party on Twitch after YouTube stream. Well, Meg, I don't actually have that planned yet. We're going to have to do that next Sunday, actually, because next Sunday we're going to be watching the Jimin video. It's not out, or if you do have Meg, if you do have that, I'm totally down to watch it. But do you have that link? I don't think it's actually out yet. I don't believe it is, but if it is, we can go in and do it for sure. I'm down, but I don't think it is. Let me look really quick. But do you know? I know this is like super late notice. I'm such a ding dong, but I don't think that that's actually out yet. Dingus. So yeah, we'll do it next Sunday. Next Sunday, we're gonna be watching the Jimin's production diary, and I can't freaking wait to watch that. I posted links in the thing. Wait, there is an actual link to it. Plus this one. Oh, dun 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 dun. So we can actually watch these. This might be a snippet of it. I think that's just a snippet of it. Plus this one. Yeah, I think there's just snippets. But you want to? We'll do that. We'll do the full thing next Sunday if that's cool with you. But I mean, yeah, it's all butterfly effect. There's no BTS if J-Hope gave up after JYP didn't take him for the auditions. Yeah, and everything was so. It was so genuine. The fact that like it all came from like nothing. Like they came from this freaking dorm that they shared. 7 dudes shared one dorm room. That's insane. And the tenacity that it took to really grow from where they were there to now is amazing. I think it's awesome. It's up tonight, my time. There you go. And also, Boris City said, where you at, homie? Thank you so much for watching a video. I'll have a video up tomorrow on my channel if you guys are interested. You know we freaking are. Dude, yes. Heck yeah, I'm definitely there. Cannot wait to watch it. You, like, seriously, a huge fan over here. I love your videos. Anytime we do get to react to it, whether you're here or not. I think that, like, for my opinion, the way I always think about things is, like, the way people talk about you when you aren't around is kind of, like, judgment of your character or how people really think about you. And just know that anytime I ever am watching your videos or anytime I ever do talk about you, it's always good things, regardless if you're here or not. You're a freaking awesome person and I love your stuff. But yeah, so there it is, homies. We're gonna next Sunday we'll be watching the full documentary. Can't wait for that. Rainstorm said, can't wait for 2025 because RM said in one of his latest lives that we're working on a new innovative music. Dude, can you imagine? I can't even imagine. But seriously, they are. BTS Chapter 2 has turned into what Super M was trying to do. I think that's hilarious, dude. About quitting and how JK made him stay. Where are you at? Let's see your earlier comment as well too. Let's see here. Can't wait. Oh, okay. Heck yeah. They lived together for like 10 years. Did RM say that he and Suga had lived together for 13? I think I heard that. Yeah. Have you reacted to Park Jimin introduction video in 2023 yet? It's over an hour. I have not reacted to that yet, and I need to for sure. I will definitely check that out. Glad to watch this with you all. Good night. Have a blessed rest of your night. Thanks for hanging with us, for real. I love your concept with that you don't just say stuff, you back it up. Yeah, exactly. Give us the receipts for it, too. I think that's freaking awesome. I love that. John sent you a link to the guide under BTS Music Bank tab in Discord. Yes, Amber. Thank you. Where will you be sitting at the Rose concert, John? I'm kind of curious about this too. I think that the helping your channel. Oh crap. So there it's 202 and then A11. I think is the actual exact seat that I'll be at. But general admission is floor, and I'm a floor guy myself. Okay, I'm a floor dude. So I don't know if since I've got a seat up there, can I also go to the floor? Because I'm there. I'm there if I can. I'm there if I can be. I don't know if I can, but I am. Suga seems to be behind so many of them continuing. He told Jimin he liked his voice when he didn't feel connected. He backed up RM a lot. If Suga says I love you, that means so much. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that I think that's one thing that I know my wife always talks about this. She loves the fact that Suga is he's very quiet. And unless he needs to be. And I think that's really awesome. I love that about him as well, too. And I think that his words do carry a lot of weight. That's why, for instance, the song Snooze. Whenever he said it's going to be okay, and he just repeats that line, dude, I'm getting that tattooed on me. I love that so much. I think it means a lot, man. And so, yeah, I think that Suga's words hold a lot of weight to them. And yeah, I think it's really cool. I like that you drew the lines there on that. That's very cool. Thank you for sharing that with us. Oh my God, the Rose. I love the Rose. Me freaking too. I'm so excited about it, man. I can't wait. I couldn't go in Toronto for the Rose. I was in Toronto for Keenum in September. I bet that was awesome. But yeah, guys, so next Sunday, we're going to pregame over here on YouTube, and then anybody that wants to follow us over on the old Twitchies, we're going to be heading over to Twitch and watching the entire Jimin freaking production diary. And I'm really excited about that because, I'm going to nerd out. Full disclosure, I'm going to full on nerd out about some production stuff because I love music. I love writing music, and I don't know, man. I can't wait to see that part. So very stoked to be watching the production diary. We'll watch that full thing on Twitch. John, any more interviews of reactors in the future? So I don't necessarily have a lot of reactor interviews. I've got 2 interviews of reactors, and so my computer, I got a new Apple Studio, and I used to have an Apple iMac. And whenever I went from my iMac, which I filmed all of my stuff on, to my studio, a lot of things got corrupted. Everything got corrupted. And I had a lot of the videos completely edited and pretty much ready to go. But I moved them over here, and then they were corrupted for a while. And then just the last 2 weeks ago, I think, I got everything actually settled, and I had to actually talk to Apple support on how to actually get my files back. So I just ended up having to link 2 USB-C cables from one computer to the next. Got that all set up, got my videos back, and then got them edited, and I should have them all releasing. I think we were shooting for this week, but it's going to be next week. So I've got Boris City Magazine, which I've got to actually get a thumbnail for her, and then I've got Boris City Magazine, Enjoy BTS More, A Lovely Penguin. We've got a couple others as well, too, so we've got some in the works for sure, and they should be dropping either this coming up week or the following. But yeah, I can't freaking wait. Oh my God, you write music? Need to see that. I write music. I write lyrics and sometimes music. I love writing stuff, man. Writing lyrics is so fun. Writing music is amazing. I'm in for you, but I don't do. John, yeah, all right, cool. Heck yes, Rob. But guys, I hope you all have a blessed night. I know that it's been a short stream. I've got to wake up super freaking early, and I still have to record, edit, and post 3 videos tonight. For tomorrow, I'll be totally gone. Me coming up. Wait, what? What is it? Meg, did I move something? Did I miss something? Me coming up. Yes, of course, but yes. I thought enjoy BTS more. Its channel disappeared. It did, and so I definitely want to go in and get this interview out there because it's kind of crappy what happened, and I've got a whole intro to that video talking about that. And she does have a free Patreon as well too, and it's got a lot of videos. She still uploads to her Patreon right now, and yeah, but it is kind of crappy what happened to her channel. So for sure, if anybody needs to, check her stuff out. She's freaking awesome. She's an awesome person. Read what I said about my next tattoo. Paulo said, how far up is it, Paulo? I don't know. You're somewhere in here. I'm betting you're somewhere in here. Could probably see it. Can't see it. Totally can't see it. But we're going for it. We're finding you. I'm gonna find you, homie. There you are. I love your concept and that you don't say stuff. Wait, no. All right, so I don't know. I don't know where it is. Oh God, I've gone too far. But everybody, I hope you have a blessed week, okay? Your Monday, I hope it starts off amazing. If you're already in Monday, I hope the future is awesome for everybody. And yeah, for real, if y'all need anything, I know I say this all the time, but you are more than welcome to message me. Just freaking message. You can email me. There's my email is on here. It's johnreeveslive@gmail.com. Freaking everything. So like literally all of my socials are @JohnReevesLive. I just don't use Facebook, so please don't message me there because there's so many people that have messaged me, and I'm like, stop messaging me on Facebook. I don't use it, and I don't even know my login info to it. But everything else, please message me if you guys ever want to get in touch with me. I'm a very down-to-earth person, and I will always keep my DMs open. I will always check them. I will always try to get back to everybody. And I hope y'all have an amazing freaking week. Let's have a freaking awesome one out there. Thank you again, and like, this was freaking amazing. Board City Magazine freaking crushed this. Hope you guys have a blessed one. And if anybody needs me, message me. Spread some positivity out there. Be kind to each other. And if anybody needs me, message me. Freaking